Hey trackies, welcome back to another video here on TXT Track Time. Please remember to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Please also head on over to our Instagram page, that is TXT Track Time, and give us a follow there as well. The link will be in the description. Some of you must be wondering how I keep saying our, but yeah, it's still our, right? So yeah, with that said, trackies, yeah, I've arrived here. I know what some of y'all said. Some of y'all said, T, don't go there. But look here, my mind has been wandering, and yes, it has brought me here. Actually, to be fair, I was thinking about it from the get go, right? But since some of y'all was like, T, don't even start. Let's wait to see. But look here, my mind took me there. And right now, my mind is at, are we still on for this potential world record attempt in the women's 100 meters by Elaine Thompson Hira, right? Now, I don't want some of y'all to come in here and say, T, remember what you said? I know what I said. Okay, I know what I said. Now, I do recall saying, look here, there's no guarantee, right? Even if she gets a top world class coach, that, she will have the same type of success she was seeing, under coach Shaniki Osborne. Because again, I was seeing some inclinations of something, potentially great from Shaniki Osborne, and I will not take that from her. I see a lot of people in the comment section acting as though, I'm taking her coaching credentials from her. No, I'm not doing that, but she definitely fumbled the bag, in my opinion. That's for sure. But yeah, now that she's no longer in the frame, I was left wondering, what about this world record attempt by Elaine Thompson Hira? Trackies, are we still on for that? Now, as you all know, Elaine Thompson Hira ran 10.54 seconds back in 2021. At the Eugene Diamond League Prefontaine Classic track is to shock the world, narrowly missing the world record. And, if you would say that is the world record, or others may say if the wind was, a bit better than what it was on that day, I think it was a zero point 0.9, positive zero point 0.9, possibly she could have gotten that world record, maybe a 1.5, you never know, right? But with all that said and done, track is 2021 happened, and then 2022 was a year where we saw Elaine Thompson Hira shut off her best, running 10.79 at her best, the best she could do for that year, and incidentally it's also the best that she could do for 2023. However, the difference was that 10.79 in 2020 two came at the beginning of the season, while the 10.79 in 2023 came at the end. So that signified the return, you would say, of Elaine Thompson Hira, right? And there's a lot of excitement. But for me personally, it wasn't just the return of Elaine that I was really interested in, but the mindset of Elaine Thompson Hira. She looked driven. She looked like she was trying to go after something. Before I get into that, I just want to say, please, Elaine, stop calling yourself an Olympic baby. Sometimes I think we jinx ourselves. And yeah, I think sometimes when you put out certain energies, it becomes a thing. So I don't want it to continue being a thing where, the world championships is like a blank year for her. I really want her to excel regardless of the championship that's on in that particular year, right? I don't want it to be only an Olympic thing. But since we're up on an Olympic Games, then it is what it is. But yeah, I love the drive that I've been seeing from her. Plus, things that I've been hearing coming out of the former Shaniki Osborne camp, where they were saying that, look here, we're hoping to attempt that world record in 2024. So that was the thought process. They were looking to attempt that world record. And I'm not going to lie, trackies, I spoke, on it numerous times in numerous videos saying there's something I noticed with Elaine Thompson here. And I may put a few clips here in the video, depending if I can find these races right now. Trackies is her start. Her start looked to it looked like it was coming together for me personally, right? So when her start typically Elaine Thompson here doesn't get a good start, right? And if she's consistently getting what appears to be a start that is on par with the likes of, Dina Asher Smith, a Marie Jose Talu, those people that you would say are good enough starters, they're not clearly in the realms of a Shelly-Ann Fraser Price. I don't think anybody, save a Brianna Williams, is in that league when it comes to, just popping out in that first 30, right? But still, it was very good enough. And I thought to myself, if you pair that with potentially an Elaine Thompson here, that gets that strength back towards the end of her race, because we did see her struggle. If you go back to, let's use the last race of 2023. If you go back to that race, you could clearly see where she struggled because she was up there with the pack, right? Because she got one of those starts where, again, I keep saying it keeps getting better and better. Don't get me wrong, there's an issue with the starter, but minus that part, right? She was up there with the pack, but then she started to fade towards the end of the race, which is not typical of Elaine Thompson here, right? Usually, she is gaining, on the field towards the end of the race, not losing ground. So that indicated clearly, there's a lot of strength endurance that was missing from her. No, clearly she did miss 3 months of training. So that, it's clear that she missed out a lot. But with that said, she still managed at 10.79. So yeah, I was there saying, you know what? If Elaine Thompson here can get back, that speed endurance, and then no, you look at, and listen, she has unmatched top end speed. The only woman in history that has clocked over, 40 kilometers per hour, something like that. So yeah, Elaine Thompson here at this particular point, I believe that if she mirrored that, start that I saw coming together, in consecutive races with a potential return of her top end speed, trackies, I believe that for sure that world record, was something she would be able to challenge in 2024. And, coming out, we're hearing that, yeah, they were planning to do that, but no, she's over to Ronaldo Walcott. So my question is this still something on? What we've noticed, I would say, from a Ronaldo Walcott perspective, is that he was able to build on what Stephen Francis was able to do for quite a few of those athletes. Well, most of his athletes are from MVP. The Shelleys, the Rashids, the Megans, wow, they're all from MVP. All world class in their own right before they, reached over at elite. But he was able to build on that. Clearly, we saw Shelly-Ann Fraser Price go from a 10.70 to a 10.60, right? And then we also see Rashid Broadbell down into, what's he at now, a 12.94 or 96, something along those lines in the 110-meter hurdles. And then we also see Megan Tapper going much faster than I thought she could ever go. She's also in the 12.4s in the women's 100-meter hurdles. So yeah, they've definitely been able to build on what athletes have brought to the table coming to the camp as a world-class athlete. So with that said, trackies, whilst there's a little question mark over him taking an athlete, say, from 0 to 100, because we haven't really seen that just yet. I'm dying to see what Kerika Hill does in the 2024 season, but we haven't really seen him take an athlete from 0 yet on the professional stage. But if we're looking at the fact that, okay, the athletes that have a base come in with a base, he's been able to do something with them and able to improve on what they've been able to do so far. And I'm talking about over a variety of events, not just the flat 100. We're talking about hurdles. We're talking about, even when you look at the Rochelle Clayton 400-meter hurdles, you can clearly see a lot of improvement with those athletes. So I'm like, why not with Elaine? Why not with Elaine Thompson here? Right? And we all know her struggle area, you would say, was the start, right? And if there was some kind of situation being built on over at Shaniki Osborne, right? And clearly he's a world class coach as well. He'll be able to see certain things and potentially build on that, right? Build on that. So with that said, Shakis, my opinion is I know some of y'all are gonna come from me, but it is what it is. My opinion is that the world record is still on, the target for 2024. I strongly believe that that world record is still on for 2024. I liked when Darren Harris said in the interview that Elaine Thompson here sees right? She sees what everybody else is doing, so she knows what she's up against, right? Not only in the 100 meters, but that 200 meters is pretty. As a matter of fact, I'm not even gonna say it's stiff because minus Sherika Jackson, that's where I'm really looking at. She's the one that is gonna be the toughest, the hardest thing that Elaine Thompson here, I believe, even bit harder than any 100-meter challenger. I believe she'd have going into 2024. I believe that 200 meters is where the challenge lies, right? So she's definitely going to need a lot more strength, right? If she wants to, do anything remotely close to what Sharika is doing in that 200 meters for sure. But you know what? Again, the base is there, right? The base is there. Ronaldo Walcott, I believe, just needs to build on that. And I believe he knows what it takes to build on that and, create another monster in Elaine Thompson here. And as I did say, if he could get Shelly-Ann Fraser Price to run, a whole tenth of a second faster, right? What are we going to see from Elaine Thompson here? She is currently 10.54. World record is 10.49. She's the closest to any of those two world records, whether it's the 100 meters or the 200 meters. She's the closest to any of those two. So, trackies, with that said, y'all sound off in the comment section below now and let me know your thoughts. Do you think that world record is still on? Like the video, of course, and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.